Manifestation is purely a mental game, and after you have put your cards right mentally and maintained them for a while, can you see any changes in the physical environment around you? This is why manifesting one's desires seems so very difficult for so many people. Everything is done on a mental level, and almost all of us have been trained to put our trust in what we can see, hear, and touch with our senses. That's how most of us have grown to judge and perceive reality. This model might have served us well in our material world, but far beyond this material world lies the immaterial, the unknown. This is your consciousness, and this is from where everything takes shape. Everything you see around you was once a part of that consciousness before ever manifesting into the physical realm. So, the question one needs to ask themselves is, if the source of every creation is the mind, the infinite consciousness, then why do we pay so much importance to the 3D? Another problem with focusing too much on the physical reality is that you start perceiving yourself as the victim of circumstances. Because no matter how much material wealth and ease you have, it is nothing compared to the wholeness you can experience with your consciousness. So as Neville Goddard says, if you are going to judge things after how they appear to be, you will forever be a slave to the circumstances of your world. And guess what? The circumstances will never be perfect, especially if you are trying to control things from your limited perspective. So, the only solution to this dilemma is a blatant disregard for the circumstances. No matter how dire the situation seems in your 3D reality, no matter how oppressed and troubled you feel in the moment, you cannot give your power away by thinking of yourself as the victim. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances, especially if you are connected to a higher self. You are a limitless being, a part of the divine consciousness from where everything originates. So while you are focusing on the circumstances, you are giving away your power by settling for pennies instead of the treasures that you are worthy of. I have been receiving emails from a lot of you stating how your life is such a mess, and one theme I see across the majority of the messages is that you think that life is being cruel to you, and you are a victim. With such a mindset, you will not be able to create the life you desire, so we need to work on shedding that victim mentality. Listen closely, as I will be sharing some easy mindset hacks and practices that you can follow to break free from the chains of the victim mindset. We are all living our lives with a story in our heads. This story has nothing to do with what's true and what's not. It is all based on our own perceptions, our insecurities, and our emotions. So just like anyone else in this world, you have a story running in your head that's about your life and everything that has happened to you. Most of the people focus too much on the bad things that happen to them rather than being thankful for the good. Life is not all negative, it's a mix, but it's our human tendency to focus and exaggerate the negative part so much that it starts impacting our daily life. This is why you see so many people clinging to their past, because they are reliving those moments again and again in their heads. When you revisit some traumatic event from the past, you evoke the very same feelings and emotions that you felt at that time. This is how your identity of being a victim stays intact. Our mind learns through repetition, and whenever you repeat the victim's thoughts and feelings, you fixate that behavior in your mind. These behaviors seep down into the subconscious mind, and from there, they become a permanent part of our personality. So, if you have always felt like a victim, chances are that it has very little to do with your actual life and everything to do with your life story playing in your head all the time. Changing this story is not an easy task because you have spent so much time creating, elaborating, and repeating it. So let's take things slow and steady here. The first step you have to take is to go cold turkey on think about your past. Your brain likes thinking about the past because you have grown accustomed to thinking in those patterns. Change is difficult, and even your brain doesn't like change, and it wants to go back to what's familiar and what's known. But if you are trying to positively change your personality and you want to bid goodbye to your victim mindset, then you have to go through this painful process of change. So, the moment you wake up in the morning tomorrow, say to yourself, I now set an intention to stay in the present moment all day today. Say it loud and repeat it a few times until you feel the essence of this powerful statement. When you set an intention to stay in the present moment, you are opening yourself to infinite abundance. Because it is in the present moment where everything takes place, no matter how big or small. The past and the future are the mere constructs of your mind and are just an illusion. This moment, this present moment, is where everything is occurring all at once. The universe is a hologram where everything is happening all at once, but because of our limited senses, we perceive it as past, present, or future. So if you surrender yourself in the present moment, you are already standing at the door of creation. By the way, I need to give out a warning here. When I say you have to stay in the present moment, so many of you will question if that is the same as accepting the 3D, so let me clear it for all of you that living in the present doesn't mean submitting to the 3D reality. It only means that you are trying to give your mind a break from the traumas of the past and the anxieties of the future. This is also called being mindful. There is so much free knowledge on the subject of mindfulness over the internet that you can spend a decade going through it. But my aim is to motivate you to make mindfulness a part of your daily life. It should come as a second nature to you, and that is when you will have a real chance at creating the life of your dreams for yourself. Otherwise, your monkey mind will not let you get anywhere. It will keep you occupied with unnecessary worries and self-created problems. Mindfulness is your path to freedom from that disturbing mind chatter that eats away your peace and keeps you tied to your victim mindset. You can practice mindfulness while doing any activity. Let's say you are watching my video and want to practice mindfulness. So just try listening to what I am saying without getting lost in other thoughts. Focus on every word I say and how I am saying it. Your attention will wander and get off the track so many times, but you have to bring it back to the video. Just try doing it for a minute and you will understand how powerful of a skill mindfulness is. And I am not saying you will acquire this skill overnight. It will take you some time, but if you show up every day, you will be successful. All right, let's talk about another trick to shed your victim mentality. It is seeing yourself as a powerful, successful person during your visualization sessions. First of all, sit in a quiet and comfortable place where you will not be disturbed for some time. Slowly close your eyes and bring all your awareness inwards. When you will put your awareness inwards, the most noticeable thing will be your breath, and we will use that to help you enter a trance-like state. So just like an observer, you simply have to sit with your eyes closed and focus on every inhale and exhale. Do this for a few minutes until you feel calmer in your body and mind. Then create a visual scene in your mind that would generally trigger a victim-like reaction, but this time replace this scene with a different behavior. Think of yourself as a powerful and successful person and then respond to that scene. You are free to create as many scenes as you like, and in each scene, you must feel like you are responding as your new self, which is not a victim anymore. Feel the feelings of strength and courage and say thank you. Then slowly close the session and open your eyes. This session will not take you more than 20 minutes every day, but it is incredibly useful in helping you create a new mindset. And if you blend your visualization sessions along with practicing mindfulness throughout the day, you will become unstoppable. The next step in your successful manifestation journey is to keep watching my channel. Click now on the video on the screen to be inspired by another video.